Hello, it is Sunday, May 18th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday crossword, which means we're solving a big grid with a theme and a title. And the title is extremely redolent of a theme. Having the last word. Halving, having the last word. Really sounds like we're going to be dividing the last word in half of various phrases, doesn't it? We'll find out if that's what happens. And this halved edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Lakehouse Bros, Henrik Koskinen, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do, of course, sustain this channel. They keep it going day by day. I'm very grateful to them for that. Thank you so much to those benefactors, and thank you to everybody who supports the channel via Patreon. To do so yourself, to help out, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link, where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons, and for benefactors like those I've just mentioned, the Let's Check the Crosses official mug. Thanks again to everybody who supports the channel. And let's get on to today's crossword by Garrett Chalfin, who's constructed around a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It's a big Sunday-themed crossword, and it's entitled Having the Last Word. We'll see what that means soon enough. It seems very suggestive of a theme. Let's start solving. Verso's counterpart. So that's recto, presumably, and this is referring to a folio, a sort of printed spread folio of page. These are the left and right sides of printed pages. Subject of the 2018 biopic On the Basis of Sex, Familiarly. Familiarly. Who was this about? Oh, this was Ruth Bader Ginsburg, right, who's often referred to by her initials, RBG, the late Supreme Court Justice. Skating gold medalist Oksana. I'm pretty sure I have heard this name, but I can't think who this is. Oksana, spelled that way, looks very Ukrainian. Noble title. An earl, that's an example of a noble title that would fit here. Let's see. Ci vediamo in giro. There's some Italian, obviously. Let's see. That is ciao. I mean, this basically means that goes in, I don't know, this is obviously a sort of farewell, so I can't translate it exactly, obviously, but yeah, it's something like, going, see you. Okay, still don't know the skating gold medalist's name. Hip hop's Puba and Daddy IU. I don't even know if that's Puba or Puba. Probably Puba. I don't know. Historic district of a city, the old town, often that's called. Grand something. Hung around, loitered. There we go. Just kidding. Not, you might say. Sort of retroactively negate something you said. Label anew. To retag something is to label it again. I don't recognize the name, unfortunately. Getting ready to listen, tuning in. So this could be Bayul, Oksana Bayul. Kind of sounds familiar, but it could just be that sort of psychological effect where now, because I have something in there, my brain is telling me it sounds familiar. I can't tell if it does or not, but let's try this. Okay. Gnarly problem, so to speak. It was a real bear, a real gnarly problem, something very complicated. Alternative to an onion bagel. A bialy, it's another kind of, circular baked good associated with Jewish cuisine. Architect of Hong Kong's Bank of China Tower. I mean, I didn't necessarily know this off the top of my head, but it's a good guess. It's the official modern architect of the New York Times crossword IMP. Always a decent guess if they're asking for an architect. Host or Eero Saarinen, I guess, would be another, but IMP, I think, is the official one. Host is, and you could be the host of an event, the MC, Master of Ceremonies. Certain hallucinatory experience could be an acid trip. Oh, Grand Rapids? Oh, right. This will be part of the theme. Having the last word. Grand Rap. Why is it Hip Hop Booba and Daddy You? But then it's only Grand Rap singular as opposed to Grand Raps. Because if we're having the last word, we're getting rid of the IDS, and then we only have a single Grand Rap. What is that? I don't get it. I guess rap can be a collective noun. So you could refer to rap as a genre of music, and that could include multiple pieces. It still feels a bit odd to me. I wonder if I'm missing something about this. Okay, I think that's right, but yeah, we'll solve a few more of them and see if it clears anything up. Okay, here we have High Lie, the sport, played with the what do they call it, chesta, something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but the stick with the basket on the end. Dad in Korean. Oh, Appa? Is it spelled this way? Quick look could be a peek. Station near Madison Square Garden for short. Penn Station in New York City. So yeah, this is looking good. Ingredients in some potato soups. You could have a leek and potato soup. Pretty normal. Son of Aphrodite. Oh, Aeneas. I can't remember how this name is spelled. That's annoying. Remove from the champagne bucket. Take. Is that right? I'm going to leave that blank for now. Remove from the champagne bucket. Take. Something like take it from the ice, take from ice or something. I don't know. You don't have to tell me. I know it. Hip hop artist with a 2019 hit, My Type. I don't know. Son of Aphrodite. Yeah, I think it's Aeneas. Let's see. Royal title. Sire. So we've got a royal title here, and then what did we have here? A noble title, yeah. Similar but distinct. Maidenhair and others. Is that a fern? Ferns, maybe? Take office. Oh, wait. Oh. I see. Okay, sorry. This makes more sense now. Sorry about this. Sure, many of you were trying to will me to understand through the screen what I was not seeing about this. It's not grand rap, it's grand rap IDs, or having the last word in the sense not of removing half of it, but by splitting it in half into two distinct words. That's much better. That feels much better in several ways. So grand rap IDs, there we go. These are sort of identifying, they're identifications, they're names. And then here we have take off ice. We're taking the champagne off the ice. Okay, good. I'm much more pleased about that. So let's try and use those crosses. Time for a pick-me-up humorously. I don't really know what we're looking for there, unfortunately. Lie ahead. If something lies ahead, it awaits. Joe of Home Alone, Joe Pesci, in that film, was one of the wet bandits, I guess. First name and perfumes. Estee, like Estee Lauder, maybe? Well, where the Pilgrims first landed in the New World, they landed on at a cape. Is that right? Has a tab open, say. If one owes money at a bar, one has a tab open. Fleet, if you're fleet, you're fast, you're fleet of foot. That's how it's often put. Time for a pick-me-up humorously. Coffee break or something like that. Or coffee, maybe it's coffee o'clock. Sort of jokey kind of way, like coffee o'clock, beer o'clock, etc. Okay, hip-hop artist with the 2019 hit My Type. Sweetie. I mean, I'm guessing it's sweetie, but sort of drawn out in a slangy sort of way or a drawl kind of way. But yeah, I have to assume that's right. I don't know the name, but I think that's got to be correct. And then we have Aeneas as the son of Aphrodite there. Okay. So Banks from Los Angeles, is it Tyra Banks, the TV host, I think? And feeling rash, you're right. So not rash in the sense of acting in a hasty manner, but in a punny sort of way. You're literally feeling a rash. You're itchy. You're itching. Common dog command. Not sure. Chance. I can't think. Goes vroom. A car engine, for instance roars. Crisis involving cartels. A drug war, potentially. Rock group with the 1992 hit Creep. Radiohead. Wow. I honestly wouldn't have remembered or guessed that was as early as 1992. That's kind of amazing to me. I always think of Radiohead as being a sort of late 90s band, but which, I mean, they also were. Okay, hit up on Instagram informally. Right, DM'd probably. So hit obviously can be present or past tense. So yesterday, you DM'd them on Instagram. Okay, overnight party with light shows and cuddle puddles. A rave, I guess, maybe? And casting a total brat in the school play, making a something. But let's do this first. Luau strings, ukuleles are associated with, Hawaiian luau, for instance, and even-tempered, sort of on an even keel, and then French for from is day, so that's, from the plural in French. Okay, so casting a total brat in the school play is making a big cast or a miscast, casting a total, making... Oh, no, it's got to be an, because the last word needs to be an even number of letters so that we can actually have it. So that means it needs to start on the I, which means it can't be making a something. It's got to be making an something. So making an imp. Wondering if a brat could be an imp, maybe? Making an impact. There we go, yes. Making an imp act in the play. There we go. That's casting a total brat in the school play. Okay, good. So common dog command. Oh, come. Right. Okay, just literally come over here. Super cool is dope in sort of old school slang. Untrue is not so, maybe. Release is not so could be wrong, but let's see. The score upon which reality is written, per Henry Miller. I'm not sure, actually. Ethos? That doesn't feel quite right to me. Former Israeli PM Olmert. Ehud Olmert is former Prime Minister of Israel. Oh, chaos. That sounds more plausible. The score upon which reality is written. That's good. That's good. Platform for Safari and FaceTime. Mac OS, the Mac operating system. For Apple Macintosh computers. Release is emit, right? So like emitting radiation would be releasing it. Okay, the co-star of Duck Soup has to be sore after all that. So Duck Soup was a Marx Brothers film. So Groucho Marx was one of the Marx Brothers. So what's the original phrase going to be here that involves Groucho? Is it going to be Groucho Marx? That leaves an even number of letters, so it's possible. Need You Tonight Band, 1987. Oh, right. I don't really know this band at all. I might have originally, bizarrely, actually first encountered the name of this band through the crossword. But In Excess, as I did not know it was pronounced when I first encountered it. Borderline. I don't know. What about this? Polite term of address. Ma'am, probably. One of three immortal elders in A Wrinkle in Time. Ooh, I read this when I was very young. I don't, unfortunately, remember well enough to know. It's by Madeleine L'Engle, I think. Pauperism, so to speak. Because I'm the boss. Says me. Yeah, there you go. Tree whose name sounds like a pronoun. You literally sounds like a second person pronoun. Mountain Dew is a soda. One of three immortal elders. Yeah, I don't remember. How long have beavers blocked this river? Probably starts with when something. Earthenware pots. Ewers, maybe? Does a ewer specifically suggest earthenware? It might do. I'm not sure. Sadly, I don't know about this. Special attention. Yeah, I'm not confident in that. Special attention for short. Not sure. Exam with an argumentative writing section in brief. I don't know. Could be one of the graduate school admissions tests, maybe. Maybe the LC. That would make sense, actually, if it were the legal one, the law school admissions test. Late singer Payne of One Direction. I know I've heard this person's name before. Was it Liam, maybe? I'm not sure, unfortunately. Sorry. You know, I can't quite remember. If it starts with I, it probably doesn't start with I'm or something because we already have I in the clue. So it could be something like it's. Not sure. Dickens, there we go. Uriah Heep, Dickens, Charles Dickens, literary character. Yeah, so it does look like it could be Liam here. Time in a Shakespeare title. Time. Time in the sense of an era or what? Like a Midsummer Night, for instance? Like that could be a time, I guess, kind of. I'm sure there's a much more obvious, straightforward version or example of this in a Shakespeare title, and I just can't think what it is. 12th Night? I don't know. I'm annoyingly, I just can't think. Notaro of comedy. Tig Notaro is a comic. Harum scarum is to act, to act in a harum scarum way would be to act in a reckless manner. Apps might be seen on one. Appetizers might be seen on a menu. Borderline could be the verge, could be the borderline. Pauperism, so to speak. Rags, as in rags to riches, means pauperism to wealth. Okay. Oh, Mrs. Who. I do actually kind of remember that weirdly from A Wrinkle in Time. I wouldn't have remembered without the crosses, but there we go. Mrs. Who. I think that's it. Or is it Mrs. Y, maybe? Something like that. It's one of those. I can't remember which, unfortunately. Earthenware pots. Oh, Ola's? No. No, that's not right. What am I thinking of? There's something that's sort of scratching around the edges of my mind that I can't conjure. Sadly. Alas, maybe this isn't when. Sadly, alas. Maybe it is Ola's. Is that right? Special attention for short. TLC, tender loving care. Yeah, this is looking better. Function in the role of. To function in the role of someone would be to act as that job or role or person. How long have beavers blocked this river? What's the dam age? Yes. What's the damage is a common phrase, but what's the age of the dam? How long have beavers blocked this river with this dam that they've made? There we go. Okay. Pinged online. Is it IM'd? Do we have both DM'd and IM'd? Wow. Don't think I've ever seen that before in a single crossword. So we have direct messaged and instant message. This could be wrong, but I suspect it's correct. Time in a Shakespeare. Oh, it is midsummer. Right. Okay. I said a midsummer night, but yeah, it's the time is the midsummer time of year. Fair enough. So Dante's Guide in the Inferno. Virgil guides Dante through the underworld. Leave alone is I'm not sure. Sediment, e.g., is some kind of, sand or silt or something. I don't know. Groucho Marx mustache. Oh, is that what it is? Yes, Groucho Marx must ache. I see. So, right, the phrase is just a Groucho Marx mustache. It's a mustache in the style of Groucho Marx, one of those big sort of brush mustaches. Okay, so there we go. And he must ache. He's got to be sore after all of that, I don't know, physical comedy, I guess. Leave alone. Let be. There we go. That's what we're looking for. And author of the 2020 memoir Cubed. Oh, right. It must be Erno Rubik, the, I believe, Hungarian inventor of the Rubik's Cube. So he must have written a memoir. There we go. And we know that maybe this memoir was purchased by cubers, who we learned the other day from the crossword are people who are good at solving Rubik's Cubes. Stamp on an invoice. You might stamp an invoice with a paid stamp to indicate it's been, the payment's been sent. Sediment, e.g., deposit. Right. Okay. So yeah, it is like a silt deposit, for instance, in a, riverbed or something like that. Drag and drop disposal icon would be a trash bin on a computer desktop. Some government securities are T-notes, treasury notes, and, the financial system. And then ship propeller is, right, you could have a screw propeller to propel a ship through the water. Start of a counting rhyme would be eeny, as in eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And then hit with a smack is to swat like a fly. Singer Del Rey is Lana Del Rey. All right, good. So we've got the top half entirely complete at this point. Anonymous guy could be John Doe in a court case or something. Arbiters of taste are connoisseurs. Am I going to be able to spell? Am I going to be able to spell connoisseurs off the top of my head? I think maybe this. I think this looks right. Are there two N's? I think there are two N's. Let's see. Lots, a ton. Valerie Harper title role. Rhoda? That's something. Is that a sitcom or something, maybe? I don't think I've seen it, but it sounds familiar. Implied. If you implied something, you got at it. Bouts are jams? Don't think so. Probably ends with an S, though. Way up or way down could be the stairs. Wonder Woman star. Oh, Gal Gadot. So bouts are... if you had a sort of bout of, you were a bout of, I don't know, some impulse. You were on a kind of jag. I guess that's kind of what we're going for there. All right, so philosopher's pursuit could be the truth. And as such, you might say, to specify something, goes through screen after screen, scrolls, which we can all be susceptible to. Apparel feature that a bandeau lacks. I don't know what that is, actually. Strap of some sort? Where one might pick up litter. A pound, like a dog pound, a litter of dogs, maybe? Little twerp, no, maybe not. Little twerp, doesn't seem right. In something parenthesis, in loco parenthesis, maybe? Okay, I'm not sure about the pound. Actor Jared Leto, isn't it? Leto, I think that's... Yeah, Jared Leto. He's in all kinds of things. Okay, burgle is rob or... How can I not think what that is immediately? I don't know. Publicly bash, to have at someone, to sort of castigate them. In little twerp. Maybe have at is wrong. Be crazy about Chicago trains with broken ACs. Chicago trains, L's. Love, HOV, L's? Be crazy about Chicago trains with broken ACs. What? How do we communicate the broken bit? I'm confused. I assume that the ELS, the L train, the L's are the Chicago trains. Don't quite understand what the rest of it, how it all works. Where one might pick up litter. Can't see that either. Burgle. All right, okay. I'm not sure what's going on here. In blank parenthesis, not sure about that either. Is Habat wrong? Little twerp. Okay, I'll have to be struck with inspiration at some point over there. Apparel feature that a bandeau lacks, right? Toe strap or something like that? Walk around, maybe. Elude or evade? This looks like love hovels, doesn't it? How do we parse it to meet the punny clue? I don't know. Doldrums. The blahs, maybe? Oh, bra strap. Sorry. This is probably bra strap. And then walk around maybe is avoid. That's what it is. You walk around a particular obstacle, you avoid it. Okay, so there we go. So baseball family name is Alu. So in fact, I think we had references to the Alu in a puzzle recently, to the Alus, I should say, to the family. Prince, e.g., is an heir, right, an heir to a throne. And then lumberjacks competition, Rolio, is that something? Is it sort of a pun on rodeo? I've never heard that before, if so, but that's my guess. Lays turf on, yes, if you lay turf down onto a yard, you sod it, so sods, okay. Little twerp, I don't know. Publicly bash is, boy, it looks like have at, doesn't it? Little twerp. I just don't know. Where one might pick up litter. Oh, Petco, maybe? Like kitty litter, maybe? So maybe it is dealing with pets, but in a totally different way, not a litter of puppies or something. I want this to be loco. Publicly bash. Oh, hate on. Hate on. Oh, hot L's. Love hotels. Right, okay, so there we go. Just sort of I'm sure not exclusively, but I think of as being sort of a Japanese concept. Love hotels, you sort of hear about like this sort of design to just only stay in them for a few hours, that kind of thing. So publicly bash. Hate on. Sorry, I already concluded that. I don't know why mine went blank again. So this is in loco parentis, which is what I wanted it to be. And then burgle is loot, right? That's what it is. And a little twerp is a snot. Okay, good. So that area is complete. Excellent. And then we have our hot L's, are the Chicago trains with broken ACs. Okay. All right. I can't quite remember. It's a blur, maybe. Much in quantity. Big something. Oozes. No. Oozes is probably seeps. Much in quantity. Beaucoup? Like from the French? I don't know. Maybe. Is that word used commonly enough in English? About. I don't think this is right. Blow. Erupt. Right. If you sort of blow, you lose it, you erupt. Or obviously a volcano literally does. Like a diamond in a ring. Set. Oh yeah, a diamond is set in a ring, in a piece of jewelry, literally. Queer identity in brief. I mean, it could be aro. We had this in the puzzle, I think, just yesterday or the day before for aromantic. It could be. Let's try the crosses. Trunk. Yes, the trunk of your body is your torso. About is onto? I don't think that's right. Much in quantity. Oh, as to. About this subject. As to it. Okay, so maybe it is beaucoup. Wouldn't have expected that, but I think it might be right. Made nice. If you made nice, you did up. Like if you did up your hair, you made it nice. Does that work? Was comparable to, it rivaled. Yeah, I think this is working. Waiting birds. Oh, avocots or avocets. Metric. Oh, here's a theme clue. Metric in a competitive family business. Salesperson or salesperson. Yeah. So your your metric is how many sales each son has made, and they're competing against one another. All right. Oh, geez, the answer was staring me in the face. I feel like whatever this is, I'm going to be able to say about myself after not having seen this. Monk's title, Dom. Sort of honorific applied to monks and depending on the country, some other notable people. Oh, geez, the answer was staring me in the face. I'm a moron. There we go. Okay, and modern home of where cuneiform writing originated. Iraq, probably? Yes, threw out of a contest informally would be disqualified, DQ'd. Word with history or hygiene would be oral history or oral hygiene. And then shut up is to cage someone. Okay, a condition for which Luvox may be prescribed in brief. Okay, I'm not familiar with that, but it looks like it might be prescribed for obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. So there we go. Designer Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger is a famous clothing brand and, I guess, person. West Point Institution is the U.S. Marine Academy, I would think. Fanfare is pomp, big sort of ceremony. Someone keeps pointing out in the comments that I've recently solved several puzzles in which the last cell that I enter to complete the puzzle is in fact the last cell of the grid, which now that they've noticed it, I'm seeing that it's happening again today, even though it's not intentional, and I wasn't aware that didn't used to frequently happen. But apparently this is notable enough that someone keeps observing it. Anyway, it's happening again today. Wasn't intentional, but here we have it. Head of Slytherin House in the Harry Potter books. I've certainly heard the name Snape used in reference to Harry Potter. One of the few things I know about Harry Potter is that Snape kills Dumbledore. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler to any of you. It's one of the only spoilers I'm capable of sharing from that series, so there we go. And then 12/31 is New Year's Eve. So, no. All right, I'll have to find. So the last cell is not the last to be filled. I'll have to find a mistake elsewhere. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'll probably just pause the video and run through this quickly because it's going to be me being silent and not very interesting. So hopefully back soon. Okay, back very soon, actually. I think it's right here. Because Bialy, I don't know if there's a sort of official spelling of Bialy. I was thinking of it as being spelled with an I, but it can also be spelled with a Y, and perhaps that's the correct, more accepted spelling. But anyway, I didn't look at the crosses. You have to always check the crosses. That's why I put it on my Daily Solve official mug, which you can get via the Patreon campaign. But the last word of James Joyce's Ulysses is not ES in some kind of odd sort of, I don't know, Greek-English hybrid, but rather should just be yes. And I hope this is my only mistake. There we go. So, last word of James Joyce's Ulysses was the last clue to be filled in this puzzle. And so arguably also means that the last cell was not my last filled cell. Sorry about that, to spoil that. But anyway, there we have it. Let's check the theme. So we've got Hip Hop's Pooba and Daddy IU are Grand Rap IDs from Grand Rapids. To remove from the champagne bucket is to take off ice from Take Office. If you're casting a total brat in the school play, you're making an imp act from Making an Impact. The co-star of Duck Soup has to be sore after that. In other words, Groucho Marx must ache from Groucho Marx mustache. How long have beavers blocked this river, you might ask? What's the dam age from What's the Damage? To be crazy about Chicago trains with broken ACs, a fairly strange trait, would be to love hot L's from Love Hotels. And finally, the metric in a competitive family business might be sales per son from Salesperson. There we have it. We've been having the last word. And, oh, right. And look, the last word of James. The one clue that I didn't, or I don't know, I might have forgotten to check in others, but one of the few clues I did not actually read was one that has a little reference to the theme, even though it's not part of the theme. The last word of James Joyce's Ulysses is yes. All right, well, there we have it. That was the Sunday crossword. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do consider subscribing to the channel on YouTube. It's a big help. Thanks to everybody who's done that. You can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server via a link in the description field to share what you thought about this puzzle. I did see in there that there were some comments that yesterday's Saturday puzzle was a bit more approachable than perhaps a Saturday might be. And in fact, I saw someone mention that it was a faster solve for them than Thursday or Friday of this past week. So anyway, let me know how you fared with this puzzle in that very Discord chat server or the comments underneath the video. And I'll be back tomorrow for the much faster, smaller, but still themed Monday crossword. So do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.